Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Sarah. This is another dark, twisted role for you. Is there something about young Claire that, or maybe even just these dark dramas that truly draws you to them?
I think I am drawn to dark things more than I am comedy just because I would so much rather, I don't know, comedy can scare me a little bit. Yeah, comedy can scare me. But I think I would love to do a comedy. But I think in general that this project, and I've been lucky with the projects that I've worked on, they haven't been afraid to look at the uglier sides of the human experience, the truthful sides. Um, that, things are not glossed over in this project. Grief is not glamorized in any way. It's very messy. And throughout this entire project, it was really encouraged that we bring this broken, messy heart to it. And it was just sort of, I don't know. I find that, we've all been through things, and the ability to channel those, uh, life events and the reflection of them and the understanding of them and make it and put it towards something, like a project like this is, really fulfilling. Um, yeah.
Claire seems to be trying to deal with grief in a number of, I would say, terrible, non-judgmental, but terrible, or maybe common ways that people tend to deal with grief. Is this her way of processing her mother's loss, or has the traumas of her past with her father and dealing with the loss of her mother sort of brought its way up in these manners?
Yeah, I mean, I think that after the loss of her mother, Claire is she's just looking for something. The gaping hole that the loss of this relationship has left in her life like needs to be filled. And she finds herself in these situations, whether it's not finishing school or uh you know not being loyal in her marriage to her husband, just going back to this relationship with Danny and like just following something that's good. He's just good, so she follows that, and I think she's just moving. Or I think she can be self-destructive, but it's not a calculated self-destruction. Um, and I think she's just what's so beautiful about her is that she's feeling her way through the dark, and you see every single time she fumbles, um, and every time she does, she gets up again, and it's in a different way, I think. And that's shown through the reflection from Claire's point of view, and being able to sort of continue stumbling but take a moment to reflect on these moments in her life and these lessons, and give advice that she needs to hear, and I think is taking sort of for the first time.
It's a beautiful tale, and the scenes you share with Merritt Weaver are incredibly palpable. You feel, guilty for her, Claire not being more grateful. But these are moments she doesn't know she has yet a short amount of time with her mom. And then it also brings her closer to her brother, while as adult Claire finds herself farther away from her relationship with her brother. I'd love, though, to talk about the scene where you're naked and raw and just going through so many intense moments on the bed. Talk about filming that scene. Was it difficult for you? Was it very a tough day on set?
The set was incredibly supportive. I mean, through any scene. There were some lighthearted moments that we had, in the show. I know the majority of the show is spent dealing with some more difficult issues, but there wasn't a day where I felt, um, like I didn't have everyone, behind me and committed to this story. It was such a group effort. And that scene in particular, I mean, that was, I think, probably a month into shooting, maybe. Because I think it's episode 3, and there was familiarity with everyone on set. We had already done some hard scenes. There was a lot of trust, a lot of comfort, and I think, it doesn't take, like, I think we've all sort of had a moment where we're either literally naked or figuratively naked and just like absolutely stripped of everything, and they were just like a live wire of emotion. So I think it was almost, I'm not going to say therapeutic, because I don't think it like really moved any like personal blocks within myself, but it was just sort of this moment, I think, for Sarah through Claire to just like feel it all. And yeah, I was really, I thought it was told so like creatively, with that scene being intercut with her editor. And you think you might be watching something different than what you realize it to be in the end. And I liked again that wasn't glamorized, and that the idea of being naked is to anyone, and thinking about it on film is such a personal decision. And I think what's really powerful is when the body is not sexualized at times. And obviously with any story that can change, but in this particular moment, it wasn't that her body was not looked at to be it was to symbolize the nakedness and rawness that she is, and that same feeling she's carrying with her every day, because she lives with this knowing that her greatest love, her mother, was gone from her too soon.